Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's video, we're going to discuss Tiffany Henyard. She did respond to Stephanie Wiedemann getting elected for the interim position of Thornton Township trustee. So we'll take a look at that. I guess she responded to some questions from a news media outlet. So we'll take a look at that. Also, for the better half of the hour, we're going to talk about Donald Trump executive orders that he has enacted. We do have a lot of, I guess you want to call progressive and left-leaning politicians that do not agree with some of the executive orders he has enacted. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to single out three executive orders during this hour. So you guys stay tuned for another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Ay, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Ay, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Let's see who we have in the building. I see we have Larry Huddleston from Fort Worth, Texas. What is good? Kennard the DJ. It's always great to see you. Lenny Malley, 11 likes and 34 people in the house. And now we have 64 people in the house. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, make a comment. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. Yolanda Fields, morning from Longview, Texas here. Thank you for tuning in. I see we have Jim C is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Jim C. And Lenny Malley, the Alabama with 4 inches of snow still on the ground. What? Tom Wilson tuning in from Germany. Thank you, Tom. Tuning in from Germany. It's always great to see you. You way across the way. And Wi-Fi is in the building, tuning in from Illinois. Okay, you guys, we're going to get started. Let me see if, my bad. See if it's on the right. It is on the right settings. Anyway, so Tiffany is upset. Of course, Tiffany, your days are numbered. This is what we discussed yesterday. Your days are numbered, Tiffany. It doesn't matter if you kick and scream, you throw a temper tantrum, you call every news outlet, said, "Oh, they doing me wrong. Look how they doing me. They mistreat me because I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman." No, Tiffany, you reap what you sow. You started down this path as, hey, I'm the big HINC in charge. Okay, you started down and you guys are beneath me. Remember, she said that to a few people. Oh, you beneath me. I don't have to respond to you. No, you're not. You do have to respond, especially to your constituents, Tiffany, and your constituents, i.e., the public, i.e., Thornton Township residents. They responded back, and that's why Stephanie Wiedemann actually was elected. So you could throw your little temper tantrum. You work for the people. That's who you work for. You don't work for nobody else. You don't work for Tiffany Henyard. You don't work for your boyfriend that's married. You don't work for, I guess, to get clicks, likes, and views. I guess that's what you call, us YouTubers. We getting clicks, like, and views off of you. You don't work for us. You work for the people that lives or resides in Thornton Township and Dalton Village. That's who you work for, and you have to answer to them. Okay. So she did respond to she did respond to the what is it called? The news station. This is at ABC 7 Chicago. And you know what? I'm not surprised of Tiffany's response. I think right now, since she's grabbing for straws or throwing everything at the wall to see if it sticks, this is a move out of desperation. That's why she's actually talking to the news media. It's just out of desperation because she really doesn't like transparency. So she's this is this is what she's going to be doing, and we'll see this until we could literally say ding dong, Tiffany is gone. Okay, not ding dong, the normal saying the witch is dead. She's not dying, but her career is dying. Her political career. But we're going to say it sounds more, I guess, unoffensive. So we're going to say ding dong, the Tiffany is gone. Okay, that's what we're going to use. And it says Tiffany Henyard said that she's disappointed and shocked by the actions, and she claims that the clerk and attorneys did not follow the township code for selecting a new trustee. That's what she's claiming. And I don't know why it's not playing. Let's see if I can open it up in this. Okay. And you guys let me.
The 2025 Pro Bowl game.
Let me know you could hear this audio, okay?
30th on ESPN. Black football February 2nd on ESPN and ABC.
Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard is responding to the appointment of a new interim trustee. Stephanie Wiedemann was selected to fill the vacant position during a special meeting last night. Henyard was not in attendance, but tonight she says that she is disappointed and shocked by the action and claims that the clerk and attorneys did not follow the township code for selecting a new trustee. Trustee Chris Gonzalez says they consulted with attorneys, and Wiedemann says all the steps taken were legal.
Okay, yeah, you're
Tell me
shocked.
about all the ingredients in guacamole.
So we have fresh
let me
lime juice,
put this on.
we have cilantro, and we have red onions.
So yeah, you're shocked and you're upset and you're mad because they elected someone that does not agree with your rhetoric. This is the only reason why you're shocked and disappointed. And of course, Tiffany always cries foul when she doesn't get her way. Okay, she always cries saying, "Oh, what you're doing is illegal." What? Because we didn't go your way, it's illegal, or it's out of order because we wanted to speak up for ourselves. You want to speak up for yourself, so you're out of order. And if it has to do with some type of appointment or, things of that nature, um, I object. And what you're doing here is illegal. And then she makes these frivolous lawsuit about, whatever happened to her because she doesn't agree with it. This is what Tiffany does. And then she tells everyone, "Oh, I'm going to sue this person." Like we saw when she took down those signs, she said she was going to sue Keith Freeman and the trustees for taking down her signs, and even the people that was actually taking down the signs after she didn't even pay for them. So this is her normal MO. Okay, so Stephanie Wiedemann, and we kind of talked about this yesterday. She was just selected to fill the vacant position during the special meeting Tuesday. And of course, Henry was not in attendance. And this is the position that hadn't been filled since October, was decided on within minutes of electors packing the South Holland Fieldhouse made a resounding choice. And we viewed that video yesterday. Wiedemann received the majority of the vote to fill the vacant Thornton Township trustee position effective immediately. Wiedemann beat out two other nominees during a Tuesday night special meeting, and she had served under Thornton Township previous administration since 2003, but Henyard fired her when she took office 3 years ago. Why did Henyard fire her? Because Wiedemann was calling her out for stealing, donating to her CARES Foundation. That's why she fired her, and calling her out for misusing the general funds. So of course she was fired, and of course she is mad and disappointed because you can't fire this trustee. You don't have any rights or any power over this position because it's elected by the people. You don't pour your entire adult life into 17 communities for somebody else to come in and watch it fall apart. This is what Wiedemann said. She has already on the inside, or she was already on the inside, and she's more familiar with it. I don't know why she fired her in the first place. Randy, you need to catch up. This is Thornton Township elector Randy Smith. You know why she fired her, and I don't know what came about of Stephanie's Wiedemann lawsuit, because she did have a lawsuit against Thornton Township and Tiffany Henyard. I think it's still under court for unlawful firemen or whatever. But anyway, getting to this point has been contentious for months. Okay. With trustee Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle skipping out on meetings, fearing Henyard would appoint one of her allies to fill the vacancy. That resulted in a local government shutdown. Bus services have been paused. Township buildings have been locked down, and insurance policies have been left unpaid. I'm not unclear. I know some people, news outlets are saying that they're unclear about the insurance policy. And if you're unclear, let me just set the record straight. In the past, they never voted on insurance renewal. They just renewed it automatically. Tiffany Henyard is just uninsurable because of all her lawsuits that she's being named in. Okay. She's being sued not only because of this particular position as the Thornton supervisor, but she's being sued for as Dalton mayor. She's also being sued as a personal lawsuits that's filed against her. So Tiffany probably got maybe about 20 to 30 lawsuits floating around. And then she's also under investigation by the FBI. Okay. So this made her uninsurable. Nobody wants to touch her. And I guess they probably found some cut rate insurance company. I think that's what they call it, really, probably a seedy insurance company that decided to insure her. And they probably charging them out the wazoo to insure her. Okay. Actually, she should have been made to step down since she's uninsurable. And why does the residents have to pay an exuberant amount because of your actions? It doesn't make any sense, but that's what comes with the territory. Anyway, that's why the insurance hasn't been paid, because Tiffany, or the insurance lapsed because Tiffany was uninsurable. Just in case you missed it, I'm just giving you that bit of information. We might not have to wait until the next regular board meeting, but we're hoping to get all the stuff going as soon as possible. This is what Gonzalez said to the news outlet. Wiedemann will fill the trustee position until May. After the April 1st election, it is an election she says she does not plan to run in. So there you have it, folks. That's Tiffany Henyard and Henyard. Tiffany Henyard. Okay. There you have it. You guys let me know. Put it in chat. Let me know what you think about Henyard. Okay. Lenny Malley, Tiffany Henyard is fixing to be the boy that screamed wolf too many times. The new headline. Yes. The boy, why you say the boy? The little Wayne that called that screamed too many times. Every time I put Tiffany Henyard in that bandana on my YouTube thumbnail, I always see comments saying, "Oh, I thought that was Little Wayne." Karen is saying this little girl mayor could have done so much good for the people, but went all the way down the hole. Sad. I really agree with you. I think Tiffany, I think she was actually for the people. And since she never seen money before, I think it just, some people just can't deal with a lot of money. I think since she, had access to millions and millions of dollars, Tiffany just lost her damn mind. I really do think that. But I think she would have been able to do the mayor position and the supervisor position if they were like working off of maybe $100,000 budget, like a charity per se. Tiffany about $50,000 for her what is it called, salary for the mayor. And probably that's the Thornton Township is probably they service 17 communities. It's 170,000 folks in Thornton Township, similar to where I live at. Our township supervisor, he makes about $110,000 a year. And my township is probably one of the as far as income goes, is probably one of the highest income areas in Metro Detroit. So anyway, what I'm getting at is the $260,000 salary or $275,000 salary worth it? I think Frank Zuccarelli, yes, because he built up that. But I think they probably should put like, hey, this is a senior level position. How long you've been working in the city or state or type of position, and scale it to that. But starting off salary, maybe 110, 120. It shouldn't be 275. I just don't agree with that. But anyway, there you have it. Shaw Hi Hun, thank you, Debbie. Loves to chat. Debbie, thank you for tuning in. Yolanda Fields is saying if she doesn't give them their licenses today by 5 p.m., I'm hoping she goes to jail at 5:01. That will be interesting. I don't think they're going to ever arrest her, though. Lenny is saying, Mrs. Burns, this is more than desperation. She is horrified because everything leads straight back to her. Exactly. All roads lead to Tiffany Henyard wrongdoing. Tiffany Henyard wrongdoing. She's shocked. Can you scream flush your career down the toilet? Yeah. Wi-Fi says up until February and April, Tiff is walking around and shaking in her boots, and she's about to get booted, and quite possibly she's in the FBI crosshairs. Yeah, I agree. Jim C is saying she would sue McDonald's for not getting a toy in her Happy Meal. Yes, talking about this is racial discrimination. Racial discrimination. Shannon tuning in from Massachusetts. C. Quinn is saying Tiffany couldn't close an umbrella. Shaking my head. You guys are lighting Tiffany up. I love the laugh. Yeah, you guys are cracking me up. Okay, so that's enough about Tiffany Henyard. Real quick, I got about maybe 45 minutes. We're going to talk about some of the executive orders that's been enacted by Donald Trump. Some people are actually mad about these executive orders. I mean, of course, you're not going to, even if you did vote for Donald Trump, you're probably not going to agree with everything he does. Let's say, if you agree with everything that a person does, going down from mayor all the way up to the president of the United States, and you voted for that particular president, I think something wrong with you. Something is absolutely wrong with you. But you can defend on, to be, I guess, an open-minded person, bipartisan. You can't defend that person's actions because you could see their point of view or whatever. And what the American people um, called him to do. So one of the things that American people, and this is why Donald Trump was elected, is because of the open borders. People are tired. You have bigger cities like Chicago, some cities in Detroit, Metro Detroit, but not Metro Detroit hasn't been inundated with immigrants. It's been like, I think they're out in Lansing, in Grand Rapids. They have a asylum sanctuary city, I guess you want to call it. And then we've been having break-ins. They're I don't know if it's part of that gang, the Venezuela gang that's been doing, or the cartel that's been going around different states to break in, doing these home invasions, and they're robbing. Did you guys know they're robbing gun stores? You can't take over if you don't got no guns, right? So they go in, and this happened in Colorado. They've robbed several gun stores. So and long story short, this is why one of the main reasons why Donald Trump was elected, because of immigration. Another reason is because people were tired of um, putting the, and I wouldn't say LGBTQ community, I would say it's been hijacked. I would say the gays and lesbians, um, their cause have been hijacked by the trans community, and it's been pushed on, the agenda is being pushed on everyone, and they've taken away essentially women's rights. So and people didn't like that. And then of course the main thing was the economy. Okay, people didn't like, and the inflation is still high. People didn't like going to the grocery store. 18 18 18 eggs, or a 18 egg carton of eggs costs $10. I seen somebody put, I don't know where they were living at, but and this was just recently, a couple of days ago, a 24 pack of eggs or 2 dozen eggs cost them I think it was $17. So stuff like that. Chicken is high. All that everything is high. Even, well, the gas is kind of going down, but anyway. So this is what what people are actually elected Donald Trump. So if we just go to tracking Trump executive orders, this article was written by Axios. President Trump is carrying out a pledge to give the U.S. a Make America Great Again makeover by signing a slew of executive actions in his first week that walk back Biden-era policies and fulfill his campaign promises. The big picture. The Trump's radical expansion of executive power will dramatically change life for millions of people in order to withstand the barrage of legal challenges that are already coming. And some of the first orders, he's promised mass deportation, but hasn't detailed how he will implement, staff, and fund such massive, costly operation. Hey, this is a mass. Sometimes I hate when the news media, word their news article, but they never put, okay, we've been paying billions of dollars for illegal immigrants to. We're literally taking care of illegal immigrants, food, shelter, health, education. And it's been costing taxpayers billions of dollars. And it's going to be a continuing cost on the American taxpayers if we don't get rid of the cost. So, then the fund such a massive, costly operation, hey, it's one and done. We don't need to do it no more. But what they're proposing, hey, bring everybody in, and we just, take care of these people for 2 years. I seen one the state, they just built, because they had a shortage of housing, and they just built this apartment building, and they were saying, oh, we don't need it for American citizens. Screw them. We're going to let the illegals come and stay in this housing development, very nice housing development, and it was actually fully furnished, and they paid their rent up to 2 years. So a massive cost, housing and letting illegal immigrants to come over. I just don't agree with the verbiage. Anyway, Trump declares national emergency at Mexico border. He declared an emergency at the U.S. Mexico border, vowing to deploy troops to the region, including the National Guard. He also instructed the Secretaries of Defense and Homeland Securities to construct additional border barriers. Certain international cartels and Trinidad Aragua, and MS-13 as foreign terrorist organization. And this is the gang I was telling you about, Trinidad Aragua. My Spanish is bad. But what I'm getting at is that's the gang that's doing the home invasions, and they're going around to local gun stores and stealing from them. And this was happening in Colorado. So he's announced the plans to invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target them. Okay, Trump suspended the U.S. Refugees Admissions Program resettlement until such time as the further entry into the United States of refugees aligns with the interests of the United States. Homeland Securities will not report back within 90 days whether resuming refugees entries would be in the interest of America. They're really mad at this. Your girl AOC, I know they had the Lake and Riley Act. She was talking about that. They're really mad that how you could detain a person because they was accused for a crime, and if they're a legal immigrant, they have the right to deport you, and that's in one of Trump's executive orders. I think I agree with that, because number one, you already committed a crime because you're over here illegally. Then you supposedly committed another crime. And AOC, her points was, well, you're taking away their rights. Well, do you really have rights in a different country? This is what I think American citizens need to come to grasp with. Normally, you don't have rights in other countries unless you're going to Europe somewhere. They probably extend their rights to you. But all these other countries, they're not extending their rights to you. You'll get mistreated just like anybody else that was from a foreign country. You're not protected as a right as a citizen because you're not a citizen. So anyway, nearly 1660 Afghans cleared by the United States to resettle in the country, including family of active duty U.S. military personnel, and had their flights canceled following Trump's orders. So you think you was coming over here, and they canceled their flights. Everybody was like, oh yeah, we going to America without citizenship. And Trump got in office like, nope, here's my executive order. Trump also ordered the Homeland Security to terminate all categorical parole programs that are contrary to the policies of the United States established in my executive orders, including those for refugees fleeing Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So remain in Mexico policy was reinstated. It says the border protection a website Monday that appointments made through the CBP One app at certain border crossings have been canceled. Hours later, Trump nixed the program. Trump empowered officials to repeal and remove any aliens engaged in invasions of the southern border. Okay, so we get down to Trump's birthright citizenship. This is an executive order. You guys tell me how you feel about this. I'm on the fence about it. I feel as if even if your parents have been waiting for years to gain citizenship or status and they haven't processed their application, but they're over here on a visa, whatever, and they end up having a baby, I guess. And they're saying Trump is he wants to end the birthright citizenship. And it says one of his boldest moves was to attempt to end birthright citizenship for the born to undocumented immigrants. And this is how I feel about it. You're undocumented. So meaning that you're in the United States illegally. If you're in the United States illegally, that means your birth over here was illegal. So actually, you are an illegal alien. So that's my whole take on it. And then, I don't know if it gets into, okay, what if the person is on a visa and they're married or whatever, both, the couple is here on a visa, they're married and they have a child here. I'm kind of on the fence on that. So anyway, you guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Trump ordered agencies starting 30 days after the order not to recognize babies as citizens if their mothers were unlawfully present at the time of birth and their father was not a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. I guess I could see where he's coming from. That also applies to children born to mothers who were lawful temporary residents. See, I have a problem with that. So if they were lawful temporary residents and fathers who were not residents or lawful permanent residents. So if your father was here illegal, your mother was here legal, and then they made a baby and they birthed it here, that means you're illegal. So a positive, you guys, this is just simple math. A positive, I think this is what Trump logic is and how they're trying to put it forth. A positive times a negative is always a negative. So legal times illegal is always going to be illegal. I'm assuming that's what their logic behind that. So, and then the states are challenging this, okay? They're challenging this. There's 22 states that are going to challenge Trump's executive order cutting the birthright citizenship. You guys let me know if you can hear this.
Y'all see this? Patrick Mahomes is saying goodbye. People was tripping.
Where are you going?
He was actually saying goodbye to his old phone.
I'm switching to the amazing new iPhone 16 for T-Mobile.
It's the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. That's like peanut butter on jelly on gold.
At T-Mobile, get iPhone 16 on us. Plus, families can switch and save 20% on plans plus streaming versus the other big guys.
What a deal. Y'all giving it away too fast. T-Mobile, slow down. Da-da-da-da-da.
And Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants is facing at least 5 challenges in federal court. The president is directing federal agencies to stop issuing citizenship documents to American-born children of undocumented parents starting next month. But the lawsuits argue birthright citizenship is protected by the 14th Amendment. That amendment states, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. The issue could end up all the way at the Supreme Court. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins me now, along with ABC News immigration reporter Armando Garcia and ABC News legal contributor Kim Whaley for more. Kim, this executive order states, and I'm quoting here, the 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to extend citizenship universally to everyone born within the United States. It says, quote, the 14th Amendment has always excluded from birthright citizenship persons who were born in the United States but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. What do you make of that interpretation?
It ignores Supreme Court precedent from 1898 case called United States versus Kim Wong-ark, where the argument was made that a person of Chinese descent born in the United States would not get birthright citizenship because his parents were both still citizens of China, and the Supreme Court of the United States held no, said if he's born here, he is a citizen here. So that argument flies in the face not only of the plain language of Section 14, but also Supreme Court precedent.
Now, Aaron, nonprofit groups, pregnant undocumented women, at least 22 states, they're all bringing different lawsuits against this order. What is their key argument or key arguments?
One is challenging President Trump's authority, saying no president has the power to just get rid of a duly enacted constitutional amendment. Presidents, as New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin said, are not kings. They're also arguing that this move would effectively render 150,000 children born in this country each year to undocumented parents, would render them stateless, would make them all deportable, and would eat away at federal funding for state programs that help children of immigrants and children of citizens. So they're challenging in federal court on those bases.
Armando, one of these lawsuits says about 150,000 children born each year would be deportable and many would be stateless. So who would be affected by this and what kind of impact could it have?
Look, critics of this executive order say that this would essentially create an underclass of people in the United States. Babies who are born stateless. What they mean by that is essentially a citizen of nowhere. That, of course, could cause issues when they try to get medical services, birth certificates, eventually work permits, you name it. So some may say, well, why don't they just inherit the citizenship of their parents? Well, let's take, for example, a baby born to Venezuelan parents. That country currently doesn't offer consular services here in the United States, so even if they tried to establish citizenship or get that baby a passport, they might not be able to. So while this might be aimed at disincentivizing undocumented immigrants from coming to the country, it also applies to people who are here legally but on a temporary basis, let's say student visa, work visa, or under a humanitarian relief program. All of them could be in limbo.
Supporters talk a lot about birth tourism. Can you speak to that and why the argument is being made that this would end that practice and disincentivize illegal immigration in many cases?
Well, many people believe that one of the main goals of people who are immigrating into the country is to have a baby here in the United States. Sometimes through some situations, a baby who is born a U.S. citizen can adjust the status for their parents. So that is the idea, that a lot of the people who are coming through South America, through Central America, hoping to get here to the United States, have that in mind.
Aaron, how's the Trump administration responding to these lawsuits, and why are they saying this is necessary now?
Well, look, they didn't talk about birthright citizenship on the campaign trail, but immigration certainly was a centerpiece of President Trump's campaign, and he believes that he's going to rewrite how the nation deals with the situation at the border, which he calls a national emergency, even though engagements at the border have been down. He also believes that he wants to deal with undocumented immigrants who are already in the country differently than the prior administration. He says there are both economic and national security consequences if he doesn't take these steps.
And Kim, a federal judge is set to consider one of these challenges tomorrow, but ultimately, this could end up being settled by the Supreme Court. What are the next steps, and how do you see this playing out?
Well, I think a question is whether the people within the government are going to obey this, what looks like an unconstitutional order, absent some kind of ruling from a federal judge. It's setting up a clash, really, between the president and the judicial system. And I do think it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the conservative majority, very Trump-friendly, will have to decide whether to not only stick with the plain language of the Constitution, but whether to overturn that ancient precedent from 1898.
All right, Armando Garcia, Aaron Katursky, Kim Whaley, thank you all.
And let me get to some of your comments because it's interesting. I do, like I said, I see what Trump is trying to do. I see what the agenda is because I remember him talking on the campaign trail how actually American or the United States have been exploited because of this. You have people coming over, and only if they could just have a baby here, and even though they're undocumented, their child will be their child will be a legal resident, and maybe the courts will feel sorry for them and grant them citizenship. Another thing I see, okay, so we have, United States being exploited on that end. But another thing that I kind of see what Trump is trying to do is because you have one parent that's not documented, and then you have another parent that they're here illegally because they just said you could come over here, and we're working to clear so you could gain citizenship. So you was actually told to come over here, and you went through the whole process. Oh, if I could just have a baby over here, and then everything will be good, and they will expedite my status. Okay, another thing is, okay, we don't want to separate the family. Remember, they was talking about, oh, you're going to create family separation. And so I think that's what Trump is trying to achieve, is to not have family separation. Because if you really think about it, if your parents is over here legally, I don't know if you guys, it's some horrible stories that they will leave their child over here just to say, oh, they have a chance to be in America because they feel like America is far greater than going over, or going back to where they came from, because they don't have any I guess opportunities like we have over here. So they just totally leave their child here, and they separate their child, and hopefully they have some relatives here to take care of them. But some of these kids, they end up in the system, and God knows what happens to them in that instances. So anyway, let me just get to some of your comments. And this is like, one of those topics that people get like offended by, but it's just one of those things. And he's never going to please everybody. Anger mismanagement, a subject to the jurisdictions thereof. That's where the cooks get it wrong. Okay. Debbie loves South Carolina is joining. Okay. Debbie, I have to look it from the constitutional aspect. I am founding father bloodline. I'm related to William Penn. Okay, you're part of the founding fathers. Okay. I have to say that if a child is born in the United States, one parent, that means that the child is an American citizen, but they have dual citizenship because the other parent is an illegal. Yeah, that's correct. And they're saying the word stateless. They use the term stateless, I guess stateless in America. But these people were not taken from their land like slaves were. If you're a slave, if you was a slave in America, there's still slavery going on in other countries. It's Africa too. But what I'm getting at, we could say if you're you're a descendant of slave, you could say your ancestors were stateless because they were not citizens, but they were brought over here. They actually didn't even think of slaves as people. But and then your people, if they were stateless, then does that make everybody that was born after that stateless people? I don't think so. They're just American citizens. So and do they have dual citizenship? Well, if some of the slaves knew where they came from, they would have dual citizenship, but they were stolen from their land. That's a whole different subject. But anyway, I agree regarding the salary. I thought Tiffany's salary was supposed to be adjusted after her first years to normal salary based on her experience. I think she voted for that not to happen. Yeah, she actually, but the legislation turned that over. She voted for people to receive a salary decrease if they unseat her, and they overturned that decision. The 14th Amendment was added for Black people because they did not figure that they had the same rights back then as we do. Now, I've always said all men are created equal. It is what it is. Yes. And Chris is saying, I'm sure she files a lawsuit against the election and the judge going to be more than happy to see her. LMAO. Ward, Leslie, I believe her suing days are over with. The judge had enough of her frivolous lawsuits. And I'm catching up to you guys. The federal government has twisted many things, including the Constitution. Yeah, I think they have. Watching from London, YouTube censors our free speech. Yes, they do. I like it. And Lenny is saying again, remember they threatened Donald J. Trump. Chuck Schumer did on national TV. The government has 6 ways from Sunday to get you, Trump. Yeah. I mean, if you don't like Trump, they don't like Trump. So we talked about the undocumented immigrants. This, to me, this is funny. We're going back to Chicago. This is funny because, you know, I guess they're starting on ICE raids in Chicago, and your boy Mayor Brandon Johnson is doubling down, saying he's fighting the ICE raids. Like, dude, is just stay focused on what you're supposed to be doing. Like, stop trying to raise your citizens' taxes up because you've used all the, or you appropriated funds, and you don't have any type of I guess accountability of the things that you did in Chicago so far, Brandon Johnson. So far, you done nothing but cost Chicago a lot of money. That's all you did. That's your main point. What did I achieve in my last tenure? I cost the taxpayers of Chicago a lot of damn money. And then I want to raise their taxes. While they're not safe, number one, they're not safe. They're still not safe. And we're taking away resources because we want to double down on fighting ICE raids. Stay in your lanes. Your lane is to boost up your education, because we know Chicago education, their public school system is suffering right now, or it's been suffering for years. The crime is crazy in Chicago. I don't know about the economics in Chicago, if what the job outlook looks like in Chicago, but I'm assuming if you got high crime, you probably don't have a lot of jobs in Chicago, good paying jobs. So focus on that. No, but you want to focus on down right nice. On Fox News.
Progressives on the city council.
You guys put in the chat. I wanted, sometimes Fox doesn't play, or you can't hear it, but put it in the chat. I just
spent the past week preparing to fight this expected ICE operation by canvassing Latino neighborhoods to pass out these flyers, telling folks to not open their doors and to remain silent if ICE agents show up looking for any convicted criminals.
Talking to people, the fear is palpable. The fear is vocalized by our residents. People in the streets are saying that they're scared that ICE agents will show up at their doorsteps, at their workplaces, at their places of worship, or places of going to school. They're scared of that. That is a problem.
Governor J.B. Pritzker could push for changes in the state sanctuary policies to allow Illinois police to cooperate in some limited way, but he hasn't given any indication that that is something he is even considering, despite repeatedly saying criminal illegal migrants should be arrested and removed.
If there are violent criminals who have been convicted of violent crimes, who are undocumented, they are supposed to be deported. That is the law of the United States and has been for quite a long time. I don't want them in my state. I don't want them in the country.
But that's not what's happening, Governor Pritzker. you have individuals that are committing crimes, and they have been initiating this catch and release system. Are we going to catch them? We're going to give them a court date, and hopefully they show up, even though we don't know their real name, because they're undocumented. Okay, these are undocumented people. We don't want them in our cities, but you guys are allowing them. And since you haven't did what you're supposed to be doing, because you're claiming this is a sanctuary city, the federal government is stepping in and saying, no, we're just going to remove everybody that's not supposed to be here. If they committed a crime, if they didn't commit a crime, they're undocumented. Well, they have committed a crime because they crossed our borders illegally. Okay, a lot of people get confused. There's a legal way to cross the borders and an illegal way to cross the borders. And 90% of the people that's crossed the borders during Biden's administration crossed the borders illegal. Big ups to Wyoming gal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For becoming a member. You guys, I really appreciate every single last one of you. And you know, in the future, we are going to start doing members only content. I have some interviews that I want to actually have lined up for the future for 2025, and some other stuff, if you're big into financial stuff and business stuff, that will be our members only content. But anyway, so Pritzker, you're lying. You're lying. You say you want this, you say you don't want illegal or criminal illegals to be over here, but your action speaks otherwise.
If you're going to commit crimes and you're undocumented, you don't deserve to stay in this country.
The sad irony here is that by not helping to remove those folks, Democrats here say that the folks they are trying to protect, those law-abiding individuals who are here illegally, by not cooperating with ICE, more of those very individuals are inevitably going to get picked up by ICE while agents are trying to track down those who are the most dangerous. One example, Harris, during an ICE operation in Chicago back in 2018, agents arrested 156 migrants. Of those, only 74 had criminal convictions. The other half were folks who just got caught up and were collateral arrest. Tom Home and others are warning we're almost certainly going to see a lot more of that because of these sanctuary policies. Harris?
And just so I'm clear, I mean, if they came here illegally, they already committed a crime. They broke our laws of sovereignty. So there's 156. Yes, 74 had committed crimes either in their former countries or in this one. But the balance of that was, from what you're saying, and that's what I want to get straight, they were here illegally anyway.
Here illegally, not violent criminals, though. And that's what the administration is focusing on in this initial set of operations.
All right. That's helpful. Garrett, thank you. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. Gianno, look, I made a fine point of this because it matters. The last administration was trying to legalize coming across our border in many illegal ways. Whether you crawled in, you went around the security checkpoints, they just wanted, okay, well, if you got here, you're safe. That's not how it works. That's not sovereignty. That's an open door. So picking up these people along with the violent criminals, what would you rather not do? Just not pick up anybody? That's what they wanted.
Exactly right.
Today is different.
Exactly
Trump's in
right.
office.
100%. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is speaking out of both sides of his mouth, saying he doesn't want violent criminals there. But yet people, as you mentioned, they broke the law and they came over here. It's the exact same thing. You committed a crime by entering the United States of America, and it has cost us in blood and treasure. Blood by the 100,000 plus people who've overdosed on a drug. And we've seen that in recent years since Biden has taken office, and treasure with the billions of dollars of resources that are being usurped from the people of Illinois and the people of the city of Chicago, New York, and all across the country. It must come to an end. And thank God this day has come with Donald Trump in office to get the country back on its feet.
Well, look, you knew that there'd be pushback. There has been from day one with that immediate lawsuit slew against DOJ, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now there's more legal action. Democratic attorneys general are suing across the country. They're suing President Trump over his birthright citizenship executive order. Here's a map showing the lawsuit spread across 22 states. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley says he believes this issue could make it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Watch.
The real value of the executive order.
Well, and we already talked about that. And I think I do agree. I think it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. But let's hone in on Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, he's acting as if that he doesn't have anything else to do besides worry about your illegal immigration problem. No, you have a lot of work to do in Chicago. Let's focus on the people. Let's focus on the people and the residents, the taxpayers that actually fuel the government for you to, collect the 200 and something thousand odd salary and not do nothing. That's basically, you haven't really did anything since you've been the mayor of Chicago. So let's focus on that. And to Governor Pritzker, you need to focus on these major cities, the cities of the concern of the people, and not illegal immigration, not trying to stop the federal government from deporting illegal immigrants in our country. How about you focus on Dalton and Thornton Township? And you focusing on an illegal resident that's not even paying taxes. They probably getting paid under the table. They do not pay taxes because they don't even have the right to work here, because they're here over here illegally. Focusing on the wrong thing. Come on, Governor Pritzker. You could have been stepping in at Thornton Township and Dalton and Harvey. I hear Harvey's a mess, and all these other little towns that's going through some crime and political crimes that you could absolutely step in, and you've been sitting on your hands, but you're focusing on some illegal people that's not even supposed to be here. It doesn't make sense to me. You guys put in chat, does it make sense? How about we focus on Illinois education system? Governor Pritzker. But no, you want to focus on illegal immigrants, illegals, and protect them instead of protecting your own people. That don't make no sense. Woo. Hopefully this is his last term. Hopefully the people of Illinois is seeing this and saying, oh, they fighting this cause and screw us. Our kids can't read, or crime is high. Some of our cities services is messed up because of the illegal immigrants. We don't have enough funding to fund different programs because of illegal immigrants. We've been pushed by the wayside because of the illegal immigrants. We have other cities, smaller cities, that's some of the city officials is taking advantage of the smaller city, their residents. Hopefully they see this, and when Governor Pritzker comes up on the ballot, they won't vote him in again, because this guy is nuts. Anyway, that was it for today, you guys. You guys put in the chat and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Pam, exactly. Let's not forget the cost of educating the healthcare for illegals. And who's paying for that? We are. Well, if you're in Illinois, you pay for it. If you're in Michigan, they got a bunch of illegal immigrants here. We pay for it. If you paying taxes, property taxes every year, you paying for it. If you paying tax, some states don't have taxes on goods and services. But if you pay taxes on goods, you're paying for it. If you're a business and you pay a business tax, you are paying for it. They're siphoning that money to pay for illegal immigrants. And then you look at your kids in general, the consensus of kids of reading at a grade level is horrifying. Anyway, Jeff, the education in America is DEI, and Donald Trump is just gutted it. Jeff, Wyoming gal is saying Biden administration had a workaround the illegal status. Vance mentioned it on one of the debates when he was referring to illegals in Springfield, Ohio. Yeah, I can't remember what that was, but yeah, they mentioned that because they were saying and you know what? I don't know if you guys seen Dave Chappelle opening act on a Saturday Night Live. I think he mentioned it too. They were saying that the reason why they let all those Haitian immigrants in because nobody wanted to work the jobs that were was available in Springfield. It was basically a dying town because they didn't have enough people there to work the jobs. That's what they're claiming. And so now they have the I guess they're trying to boost they was trying to boost the economy. Okay. So anyway, you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. WREM, you got to catch the replay because we are about to end. You guys remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Tomorrow we are going to be live on Unpopular Opinion. That is my other channel. If you haven't tuned into that podcast, it's called Unpopular Opinion. And with my co-host, super producer, we are going live at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I was trying to find my link. Let me just put Chawanne Burns 2.0. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. You guys make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. This is the channel. Let me see if I can put the link in the chat. And so I will see you in the next video.